Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 11 of the Longbox Chronicles. Tonight I will be reviewing a title from DC Comics, but before I do that, I need to take a moment to explain the DC Comics multiverse. For those of you who don't know, DC Comics doesn't just have one world for all of their heroes. They have over 50 different versions of Earth with their own versions of well-known characters. For example, the Superman we all know is from Earth Zero, also known as New Earth. The Superman I covered in my Tangent Comics episode is from Earth 9, a Russian Superman is in Earth 30, and a female Superman resides on Earth 11. Honestly, you would need a fucking scorecard to keep all the different Earths straight, so here is the short version. The characters as you know them are from New Earth. Everything else is a little bit different. I felt I needed to explain the workings of the multiverse because tonight's comic, Countdown Arena, is a clusterfuck of various characters from all over the multiverse. Speaking of clusterfucks, I should mention that this was written by the same brain-dead chimp that wrote WWE Heroes. Let's hope this one at least makes some fucking sense. Our story starts on Earth 19, where Batman is looking for someone the papers have called the Double Man. A call for help stops his rooftop vigil. As he swings away, he vanishes in a burst of energy. We cut to Earth 21. Wonder Woman is trying to stop Captain Trevor, who seems to be unable to control himself. Trevor is quickly cut down by an unknown assailant. Before Wonder Woman can find out what happens, she too vanishes. On Earth 12, Green Lantern and Firestorm are doing their regular rounds around the city until Green Lantern is also taken. Firestorm is given a message that he may be recruited next. We move on to Earth 31. Superman has been ordered by the President to destroy what looks to be Brainiac. Before he can do anything, our Mystery Man shows himself to Superman and takes him away just like the others. Superman awakens to find himself seeing two different Wonder Women. Before anything can be answered, he sees that he is surrounded by various heroes. As Superman tries to figure out what is going on, many of the people near him are instantly vaporized. Our Mystery Man says that he is the Monarch. As Superman and two other Supermen attempt to attack him, Monarch easily brushes them off and explains that he has gathered all of these heroes here for a purpose. The Monarch states that they are in a space station between the various Earths in the quantum dimension. He is going to have these heroes fight against their counterparts, with the winners being allowed to join the Monarch's army. Any attempt to escape will be met with severe punishment. Now, here is where this review is going to differ from the others. Usually, I give you guys a rundown of everything that happens in the books I review, but I just can't do that here. Damn near every single character is a version of a character you might be familiar with, but it's not the one you actually know. Shit, I could actually sit here and rattle off the books that most of these characters have been in, and I don't think that it would help matters any at all. In other words, trying to explain who the three Blue Beetles are in this book are not going to stop you from not giving a shit about them during their fight. So while I am going to avoid the fights between the D-list versions of A-list characters, I am going to go over the story around these seemingly empty fights. First off, one thing that always happens. The Supermen from Earths 30 and 31 are always at each other's throats. Since Superman 30 is a hero of the Soviet Union as seen in Superman Red Sun, and 31 is from the Cold War world of The Dark Knight Returns, it makes sense to reference the natural tension between the two. However, it happens so often that it gets old really fast. Anytime 31 says anything, his communist counterpart is always there with a snarky retort, and they have another war of words. I wanted to get that out of the way before actually covering anything else that happens in this story. After the first match between three different versions of the Shade, the winner, Eve of Shadows, opens a portal to her world. Monarch punishes her by vaporizing a part of her Earth. He warns the rest of his captives that he will do worse if anyone else defies his rules. After the match between the three Batmen, Superman 31 rallies the troops against Monarch. This insurrection is quickly quelled with little to no effort. Star Woman from Earth 7 at one point finds some sort of harness and asks if anyone has a science background. Before anyone can answer, Monarch shows up to collect the three Green Lanterns and destroys the harness. When the battle between the Green Lanterns ends, Monarch finally gives an offhand mention about what he's raising an army for. He's going to fight the Monitors, whose sole duty is to keep the different Earths from crossing over. The fact that the Monarch is able to organize this little glorified cockfighting ring without them noticing anything shows that they must be pretty fucking bad at their job. But that little lapse in logic is the least of this book's worries, trust me. After the Green Lantern battle, we learn what happens to the losers who survive. They are put in stasis in case they need to replace the winner in Monarch's army. I know it sounds really stupid, but I want you to remember what else this guy has written. Compared to that shit, this sounds like gold. As the Monarch's henchmen begin to take care of the corpses, the dead Batman springs back to life and kills the goons. During his fight, he was bitten by the vampire Batman of Earth 43, and the effects have just taken hold. He tries to feed his hunger by feeding on the other Batman, but can't get past the stasis field. After analyzing and apparently repairing the harness, Soviet Superman deduces that the device is some sort of dimensional hopping harness. In other words, it can take the wearer to any of the 52 different universes. The one thing it's missing is a power source. The newly vampirized Batman returns to take command. He hands the harness to Quantum Storm. Since he's a version of Captain Atom, just like Monarch, he can power the harness himself. I should mention that at no time did anyone mention that Monarch is the Captain Atom of New Earth until this moment. It might have been explained in the Countdown series itself, but I am not willing to suffer through that 52-issue train wreck for any reason. Anyway, before Quantum Storm can take the harness, Breach, another Captain Atom of New Earth, elects to take it, since he says everything around here makes no sense. Yeah, dude, I actually can kind of feel your pain there. Batman tells him to find all the other Captain Atoms of the multiverse to help take down Monarch. Batman tries to get the other two Captain Atoms to follow him, but Monarch returns. To provide a distraction, all three Supermen begin to fight in the holding area. Sure enough, Monarch never notices that Breach is missing while he broke up the fight and collected the three Flashes for their fight. Hell, when he collects the Supermen for the last fight of this mess, he never notices that all three Captain Atoms are missing. I'm not going to explain how absolutely retarded that is. I think you should be able to notice it for yourself. Down in the holding area, Batman and the other two captains are busy wiping out Monarch's small army of henchmen. He feels that they have fallen into a trap. Right on cue, Monarch shows up and says that it is a trap, and that he has planned for literally every contingency, including one Batman being turned into a vampire by Batman 43. He then destroys this Batman and announces that he planted the harness and that Breach has been working for him this whole time. Hang on a moment, guys. I hear a brick calling me. Ah, God damn it. As God is my witness. Oh, shit, that fucking hurt. I will never review another comic written by this stupid motherfucker. This shit is just too painful for words. Anyway, Monarch announces that when Breach brings the other Captain Atoms to him, he will merge his power with theirs to become more powerful. Don't ask how he plans on doing this, just smile and nod your head. Somehow, during the fight between the Supermen, they are able to bring Monarch into the arena, causing Superman 16 to die from overexertion. As Superman 30 and 31 try to fight off Monarch, Breach returns with the remaining Captain Atoms. Monarch is quickly able to absorb them all. Breach approaches Superman 31 and hands him the harness, and Superman uses it to run for his life like a fucking coward. I guess the Boy Scout is more of a pussy than I thought. Because of his treasonous actions, Monarch absorbs Breach, even though that was his plan the whole time. I'm not going to think about that any more than I fucking have to. Now, with his army finalized, Monarch is ready to face down the Monitors and stop them from doing their job. The final page says that this story is continued in Countdown. As I have previously stated, I will never read that horrible thing because I respect my brain cells too much. In the end, all I can say about Countdown Arena is that it reads like the worst sort of fan fiction. However, it is enough of an oddity that you almost have to give it a read yourself. Hell, this is the one thing that makes it better than WWE Heroes. This thing is almost so bad it's funny. So if you find the books at a cheap price, go ahead and pick them up. Sure, it's mind-numbingly stupid, but if you can look past that, you might find a barely interesting story in there. And with that, we come to the close of another installment of the Longbox Chronicles. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.